to see if I can answer your student loan questions. Hey guys, I just got on to see if I can answer your student loan questions for tonight. Oh, ooh, a little bit too much information. Sorry. Hey, I just got on to see if I can answer your student loan questions for tonight. Hi. Hello, hello. Hi, everybody. My name is Pastor Cheryl, and I just got on to see if I can answer your student loan questions for tonight. A lot of people have questions about what is this student loan that's going on right now, and student loan forgiveness. I'm sorry, student loan forgiveness. What is it, and how can I be a part of it? Good evening. Hi, Just Legend. How are you? Thank you for saying hello. So I just got on because I wanted to see if I can bring some clarity to you guys on student loan forgiveness, what it is. Hi, thank you so much for the likes. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Can y'all please keep on liking because it's going to bring on more people. Thank you so much for coming on with me tonight. So I just decided to just shoot the breeze with you guys. I'm actually going to be paying attention to your questions and answering your questions tonight. So we're going to be talking about student loan forgiveness because we have until April 30th, 2024 to get this right. And there have hi Millie, how are you? Also, can you get forgiveness if you're still enrolled in school? No, Just Legend. You know what? I heard that there's some discussions about that now on how to help some students that are in school with the complaints that they have. Like, we're helping and we're getting people forgiven. And the student loan forgiveness that they're doing now, Justin, is because there are people that you may not be aware. Hi, Bree. How are you doing? There are people who have had loans for years and they should have been forgiven and they weren't. And it's hard to them to figure out how to fix this system. Just Legend, I was wondering the same. My loan repayment due date moved from 2025 to 2027. Yeah, so what they did was they said, okay, we have to figure out how to fix this broken system because people were not getting, thank you, you listen to the podcast. That's the next step. Consolidate loan. So I was kind of trying to bring a little bit of clarity. I didn't apply for anything, so I'm confused. Okay, Bree. So some people, Bree, because they're doing the payment count adjustment. The payment count, that's the thing about this student loan forgiveness. And I want to slow down a little bit. Let me stop. The student loan forgiveness is a process that will be applied to your account that will allow you to be able to be forgiven sooner rather than later. I'm back. How do I subscribe again? Hey, Tony Williams, you hit the subscription button at the bottom. It's just a little star at the bottom of the screen. I think for some people it's on the right-hand side at the bottom of the screen. And you hit that star button and then you can subscribe to my page. And what I'll be doing is, for my subscribers, I respond to your questions. So we talk about your specific loan situation. But basically, hey, Essence, how you doing? So basically, hey, Tony Williams. Oh, okay, that's what Tanya Williams. That's what I was just responding to regarding subscribing. But basically what you're doing is you're setting up your account so that you can be forgiven sooner rather than later, which means that some people have been actually paying student loans for over 30 years. Those people will be getting a refund if they pay too much into it. So if you've got over 20 to 25 years worth of payments, then they're going to refund you some money. Now, how that works, I'm not quite sure because they're doing they're forgiving people regardless of whether they've been making payments or not right now. So you could have been on a forbearance, a deferment. You could have had an income-driven repayment plan. Your payments could have been zero. You could have even been defaulted and not paying anything, and they still were going back to give you your payment count adjustment. And if you had enough adjustments to equate to the length of time that your loan is supposed to be, then they were going to go ahead and forgive you. But they're going back to your oldest loan as if you made payments that long. So those students who are in school possibly qualify for as a current. a current student with the past due. Legend, the only thing that you could do is, if you can get a Parent Plus loan, which means your parents would get a loan for you. And if they applied and didn't qualify, then you could ask for more of a loan to get the difference, or to get to be given as much money as you would get if you were an independent student. That would be your option if you're undergraduate. If you're a graduate, of course, you can apply for graduate loans yourself. Is that the reason for the date moving back from 2025? So yeah, Bree, what's happening is they're doing a payment count adjustment. They won't be finished until July 1st, 2024. And so some people are on a administrative forbearance depending on their circumstances. So Bree, I don't know how old your loans are, how far they go back, but that happened to a lot of people where they got on an administrative forbearance. Hey Latoya, I see you subscribed a few days ago. Yeah. I touched base with you, Latoya. I was gonna say, Latoya, I think that face looks familiar. Yeah, I touched base with you. But hey girl. So I wanted to just get on tonight to try to answer some of your questions. I'm actually not feeling well, but I did want to get on here because I can't keep not getting on. I was working a second job, and so now I'm not doing it anymore. So I wanted to get on. What happened to the Facebook check? You know what, Felicia? I keep checking into that. The update is from last year, and the courts did approve that. It's not that much, though. It looks like people be getting about $30-something from that Facebook, but I actually got on here to talk about student loan forgiveness. But yeah, it looks like people get about $30-something, and if you were on Facebook alone, you might get more. You consolidate and apply for SAVE, but now what? Sarah, now that you have consolidated your loan and you apply for the SAVE program, now it's a waiting game to see what the payment count adjustment is going to be. You have to wait to see what the payment. I'm going to get you 1 minute, Latoya. You got to see what the payment count is going to be, which won't be until July 1st, 2024. I do have a question. If I consolidate my Parent Plus loan, can I still apply for 24? Yeah, you sure can. Your new loan won't be affected by what you're doing with your consolidation. So you sure can. If you need to do another Parent Plus loan, you sure can. It won't be affected by that. Saxon, you're on here. It says you're going to lose your subscription benefits soon. I don't remember helping you, Saxon, so you need to make sure. Saxon, you even sharing the live with other people, and I don't remember doing anything to help you. So you need to, I don't know, I'm not able to friend you or something, because I don't remember you asking me any questions. Maybe you were just giving me support. Because I don't remember asking you any questions, Saxon. But yeah, so go ahead, Latoya, if you need to apply for another Parent Plus loan, it doesn't affect that. Let's see what else is going on here. Oh, you're welcome, Sarah Murphy. Elvira, July. Oh, long ways to go. No, Elvira. April 30th is the deadline to get your account set up for forgiveness. July 1st is the date that they said they're going to ensure that everybody knows what their payment count is. I just found out, I was supposed to be, I should have had enough eligible payments because I had 2 schools that I worked for, and I worked for a school and a nonprofit, and I had enough payments. I'm like, okay, so you guys tell me I'm eligible, but you only gave me 42 payments, and I'm supposed to be getting my whole thing forgiven. I'm doing a dance and singing a song. I got my little eligibility email, but they said because mine was 0, and they still have not added in the date, the months for the pandemic. They haven't added those yet. And then for my loans, they hadn't finished the payment count for the first school. So once everything is done, it'll be July 1st. And I did get this off the website also. If on July 1st you still don't have all of your payment counts, that you believe you're supposed to have, then they ask you to wait until after July 1st before you let them know that there's a problem, and they will go back and work out the problem. How old are you? Like 32 or something? Who is that asking how old I am? I'm 53 years old. Real one. I'm 53 years old. Yeah. So for the SAVE program, that's going to be going on probably for I don't know how long, because it just took over the Repay program. So the SAVE program will likely be going on for a while. It's just that the payment count adjustment. Let me explain to y'all what the payment count adjustment is. Can y'all hit like anywhere you don't see any words? Because I see the number of people dropping significantly. And if you don't hit like, it tells TikTok that you guys are not interested. And I know we're kind of getting into this some. But I really would appreciate if you guys would hit like. And then the share button at the bottom, you can share with as many people as possible. I know one person shared. But so the SAVE program, that one for the $12,000, if you owe $12,000, you can be forgiven in 10 years. And don't think it stops there. If you owe, let me get this charger on here, because I can see right now it's getting ready to go, y'all. Forgot my phone needs to be charged. So then if you owe more than $12,000, they're still going to allow you to receive forgiveness for the SAVE plan sooner rather than later, because if you owe $13,000, then it goes to 11 years. If you owe $14,000, it goes to 12 years. And so it just keeps going up until it just doesn't make any sense anymore, because after you get to $22,000, then it takes 20 years to pay, and then they kind of stop it right there if you qualify for the SAVE plan. So the SAVE plan is interesting because it's an income-driven repayment plan with benefits. And the benefits that includes, please hit like, y'all, where you don't see any words. Please, because that'll, like I said, that'll let TikTok know that you guys are interested, and then more people, they'll bring more people on. So please don't let one person be doing the likes with 56 people. I was 130. I don't know where people are going. But I'm here because I guess TikTok has this thing in the algorithm that thinks you're not there when you're not moving. So y'all see me doing hand gestures or something, it's because I got to let TikTok know that I'm here. So anyway, so that SAVE plan will be there, but it also, now they had in there, it did say that they were going to change it in April, but now it looks like they're changing it. I mean, in February, now they're going to change it in July, that the SAVE plan cannot take more than 5% of your adjusted gross income, or your they're calling it something else. They're calling it your discretionary income. Well, I don't know why they're calling it that, because it's not the definition of discretionary. Discretionary being if you had 225% of the poverty line guide. And so what does that mean? You have to go look into your state, the poverty guide, and then you take 200 and look at the federal poverty guide, and then you multiply that by 225%. If your income is less than that, you qualify for the SAVE plan. So like I said, by July, it won't be more than 5% of your income. And then also the SAVE plan, the interest is not going to be compounding on you. So if your payments are not high enough to pay the interest, the federal government pays the interest for you. AVantage took over my loan. What should I do? AVantage did not take over your loan, user 7186. AVantage is a loan servicer. So they're servicing your loan. But if you had an original federal loan, it's still with the federal government. You can still go to studentaid.gov to take a look and see all your loans that are open. And so what happens is the federal government does not collect payments on their own loans. It said Elvira. Okay, Elvira, we'll get to you in a minute. So you still can go to the SAVE plan. We'll deal with you, Elvira. Hang tight. I got you. Oh my God, she made me laugh when she said that. Look, y'all, Elvira said, let me see. I have a ton of student loans, but I'm on the SAVE plan. I really want them all forgiven, though, LOL. Elvira says that the SAVE plan put her in at the poverty line, which means I'm sure she's saying that the save plan made her payments too high, because not everybody is going to save under the save plan, because your payments, because your income is probably too high. You need to pick a different income driven repayment plan. And so for some people it's just not that simple, because the payments are still too high, right? And so you can go to studentaid.gov, and there's this thing called the payment wizard, and that will allow you to go through and see if you can get a lower payment plan through the payment wizard. And for some people, the only option is going to be a deferment or forbearance. But right now, if you do a deferment or forbearance, then those payments will still count towards your forgiveness. And it makes sense for you to request a forbearance if you all right, so user 718, I'll deal with you in just a minute. If for you to request a forbearance, especially if you're somewhere near forgiveness, because why would you want to make payments if you know that you're getting ready to be forgiven? Now, 718 user 7186, they said they gave you a fresh start at $345 a month ago, and so they gave you a fresh start, so that means your payments are current. But if that payment is too high, again, you still want to, especially if they gave you a fresh start. I don't know how old your loans are, but that gets you back current, and it shows you current on your credit report. That is a great benefit to have that credit report fixed if you have been having issues with your credit because of the way your student loans are reporting. But again, if that payment is too high, you may want to look at doing that studentaid.gov payment wizard, so that you can get those payments to something a little bit more reasonable. So if I have a big forbearance, but they still forgive my loans. They will. But if you have a forbearance and you're looking for them to forgive your loan, one thing I want to make sure you guys are aware of: if you guys have some of those old loans from before 2014, 2015, before that, some older loans, FFEL loans, Stafford loans, those are all loans that were by private lenders that the federal government backed. Some of them even Sallie Mae. Some of y'all have Sallie Mae, and you guys think that some of you guys had the old Sallie Mae loans, and they moved those loans over to like Navion or something like that. If they were before 2010, those loans were federally backed loans. Most of them were. So you're going to want to go to studentaid.gov to see if those older loans or those Sallie Mae loans were federally backed loans. In my ignorance, I did not realize that you guys were probably talking about some older loans. So some of you asked me that before, and I said no, because I wasn't thinking about those old Sallie Mae loans that were federally backed loans. So Sallie Mae stopped the federal government stopped backing Sallie Mae loans in 2010, and then Sallie Mae stopped servicing federal student loans in 2014. But they were direct lenders that the government was federally backing. So you still want to go to studentaid.gov if you had any of those old loans to find out about that. And you guys don't forget that you can subscribe to my page. If you subscribe to my page, then you can ask your personal questions, and we kind of go through those a little bit more detail. Let's see. You can't afford it. That's why I say you may want to go to the payment count adjustment. Hi, Tanya. I see that you subscribe. You may want to go to payment count adjustment. So you go to studentaid.gov, payment count adjustment, and not payment account adjustment, payment wizard, WIZARD. And then there you can fill it out and just say your debt is too high, or whatever your reason for filling that out is. Thank y'all for liking. I'm really appreciating y'all so much for the likes. And that will get you into the wizard and allow you to be able to talk about, talk about your circumstances, put in your current income. Thank you so much for the rose. Thank you so much. Put in your current income, and then work from there to try to get that payment reasonable. And some of you, the payment's not going to be reasonable. You may end up finding that it's best for you to do the forbearance or the deferment, which is okay for you to do that. because they'll still count towards for forgiveness. And you guys don't even know what your payment count, if you haven't received immediate forgiveness, you don't even know what your payment count adjustment is yet. You won't know until July. And then there are some of you who will be getting a letter. Like if you had the public service, and no, it's not just for public service workers. Let me see who else I've got any questions. On the website, I'm on the SAVE plan. It shows as subsidized and subsidized loans. That's irrelevant. Subsidized just means that the federal government help pay some so that the interest rate will be lower, and then pay down your interest rate so your interest rate will be lower. And unsubsidized means they didn't help you, so the interest rate is a little higher. But what you want to do is make sure that all of your loans are not direct loans. They have to be direct loans if you want them included in the payment count adjustment. And y'all, please don't ask me, do I personally help you with your loans? No, what I do is help you find the answers to your questions, because it's just so much in the system. So I kind of show you exactly where it is in studentaid.gov. We kind of break it down, see whatever you're going through, trying to point you in the right direction. And then I recommend that everybody at some point contact studentaid.gov for clarity. The more dependents you have, yes, the lower your monthly payment. Anyone in your household, you can add them. Yes, King Dahlias, if they're in your household, but keep in mind, they have to be, if they're gonna be in your household, they're still gonna look at your taxes, and they're gonna see who's dependents and all that kind of stuff. So you can't just be throwing every Mama Lulu on your stuff. But right now, they're not supposed to be asking you for a copy of your taxes once you call in. Now they'll do it. They'll pull your taxes, but you're giving them current year, like what's going on today in your household. They're not supposed to ask you for your W-2 or your taxes. I noticed some people that they're doing that, but they're not supposed to, because they have permission from the federal government to allow you to self-verify. But you want to be careful not to be adding everybody under the sun as a dependent in your household if you know it's not true. So be careful with that. Just try to, hey, Natasha, I see you joined today. You subscribed today. All righty. And I do get to my subscribers. I'm doing that. I will be doing that tonight. I'm only going to stay over here for a little while and go to subscribers and see what's going on with you guys and what questions you need answered. So I will be doing that tonight. And I don't have a lot left. I got some from yesterday and today, or within the last few hours to do. So I'm not even 24 hours behind in answering my questions to my subscribers. So that's good. I've caught up a lot. Now I'm on income. Natasha is on the income driven repayment program. Should I apply for the SAVE? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. If you didn't consolidate a Parent Plus, because Parent Plus loans do not qualify for the SAVE plan. So in order to get, now keep in mind, the payment count adjustment and the actual payments are different. Y'all, if somebody asked me, was I about 30 years old? It's this filter. I'm going to use a filter because this filter has a light foundation is the filter that I chose. And I might have chose something to get some of the lines on my face. But I'm 53 years old. So somebody asked me that. So yeah, it's the filter. Get you some glasses, some hair, and a filter. Boom. You don't even have to wear makeup. But anyway. But nonetheless, I'm just... Oh my God, I don't know what made me go back to that statement. But anyway, I was just looking at the video and what it was doing to my face. But anyway, so for the SAVE program, yes. Apply for the SAVE program and see if that payment works for you first. And keep in mind, just because you qualify for the SAVE plan now doesn't mean you're going to qualify for it next year. Because you're going to have to update that every year. And so as your income goes up, that may not be the plan that you qualify for. And keep in mind, this student loan forgiveness is to get you closer to forgiveness. Thank y'all for the likes. I don't know what's happening to the people because I'm used to 200,000 or 300,000 people on TikTok. So I got to move around and stuff because for some reason, if I'm not moving, it assumes that I'm not functional on here. So keep in mind, that's something that you have to be mindful of. Your income driven, whatever income driven repayment plan you have, you do have to submit new information every year for that. And if you are consolidating your older loans, then your account, let me go back to this. This is important. I'm going to get to more of y'all messages. This is very important. The payment count adjustment is going to go back to your oldest loan and give you credit, an oldest open loan, and give you credit as if you made payments on time from your oldest open loan to today, no matter what you consolidate. So you can consolidate your Parent Plus loan, and you can consolidate your other loans. But if you consolidate your Parent Plus loan, you don't have to consolidate your Parent Plus loan with your other loans. It just has to be a direct loan. You see what I'm saying? And that could make the difference, because a Parent Plus loan is only going to be eligible for income contingent repayment plan, which is a maximum of 20% of your income towards that payment. The Save plan right now is a maximum of 10% of your income if you are at the poverty line. So I know this seems a little confusing, but you don't have to consolidate everything together. They just do have to be direct loans. And then they're going to give the payment count adjustment. The payment count adjustment is, again, giving you all those years of payments from your oldest loan to today. And no, my students who are current students, this does not apply to you. You can probably, the Save plan will probably be there. But I just heard from a little bird that they're having meetings now to discuss what to do about current students, some type of forgiveness for current students. But that is not etched in stone. I have no proprietary relationship with anyone. This was in passing, talking to someone with who does have proprietary information, and they said they're having discussions. So hopefully you'll be hearing something. They may not have it worked out yet, but hopefully you'll be hearing that they're trying to help current students also with something. Just purchased an auto renewal. Okay. Oh, Phil, look at you. I love Phil. Will students.gov assign us to a new service? If you consolidate, now that can happen at any time for any given reason. If you work for a nonprofit or a, I don't know why my head is doing a little slow movement. If you work for a nonprofit or a government entity, then your loans are supposed to be handled by MOHELA. If you are applying for the borrower defense discharge, then those loans are handled by Nelnet. So each loan servicer has different loans that they're responsible for, and once the federal government figures out what loan you're applying for, they send you to the respective servicer. So that could just happen arbitrarily. Hey, sincerely, Janae. Hello, Lachey. Are the Parent Plus loans considered direct loans? They are not. Not until you consolidate them, Lachey, into a direct loan. And you have to weigh out whether it makes sense to do that, because why am I so slow? Anyway, my internet speed is like perfect. I don't know what this is that I'm moving so slow. But you, Lachey, have to figure out whether that is the best plan for you. Because if you consolidate your Parent Plus loan and you don't have any open student loans of your own, I call it a Parent Plus standalone. I haven't seen that terminology anywhere. That's just the best way I can describe it. When I say Parent Plus standalone, it means you don't have any other loans that are open that are your loan in your own name to go along with it to help it to receive a payment count adjustment. Remember, those of you who have been on here with me already or talking about it already, payment count adjustment is the amount of years that you have had an open loan that has not yet been paid off, however old that loan is. They give you credit towards forgiveness for whatever other loans you have, as if you made payments on all of your loans from that date moving forward. So even if you got a Parent Plus loan, yes, last month or in January, and you consolidated that into a direct loan, and you have 20 to 25 years worth of older loans that are still open, they'll give you the 20 to 25 year payment count adjustment on your Parent Plus loan. So yes, that means some people will be forgiven for those Parent Plus loans sooner rather than later, but they would have to be consolidated into a direct loan. Now, if that Parent Plus loan if it doesn't have those loans to help it be forgiven sooner rather than later, be mindful no matter what the situation is. They're going to have to give you the current federal rate on those loans, current unsubsidized rate on those loans. I think it's like 8% or something like that right now. And so those Parent Plus loans have the potential of the interest rate going up to twice as much as it was when you got the loan initially. So you need to be careful what you're doing, and I tell everybody, even if you subscribe to me, I'm not infallible. That's why I say, please go to student and you're describing your situation to me, and I'm responding by giving you the I copy and paste the actual wording from studentaid.gov, and I give you the studentaid.gov exact spot to go so you can copy and paste the link into your search browser and see where I got that information from. And then you then read it, understand it, and then if you're still confused or still like, because I always tell people, just wait. If you feel that little tugging at you like, please contact studentaid.gov. But I get very disappointed when somebody says, you told me to consolidate. I didn't tell you to consolidate. I told you if you want your loan included in the payment count adjustment, it has to be consolidated into a direct loan. But you have to make that decision. I'm not telling you what to do. I normally say I would do. Because what I would do is, I have out of $313,000, I had $62,000 still sitting out there, and I just refused to contact a loan servicer because I was so upset with them. But I had to get up off of my high horse and get on the phone and call them today. And one of my followers actually triggered me, Hero Mom. She triggered me to call because they told her she had to send in her application online, manually. And I don't believe that. So when I called and they said that they had messed up, they had one of my loans that got stuck, that I had consolidated. It got stuck and it wasn't being added in. I was like, I need this done before April 30th because I don't want them saying that I got a loan that was not included and it was a direct loan and it's supposed to be, it was a Parent Plus loan and it's supposed to be a direct loan. I don't want them to say I didn't get my application in on time because y'all messing my stuff up. Why is this $62,000 still sitting? And they said they messed up. They cannot figure out how to get it unstuck. And the way for me to get that loan added is for me to send in my consolidation application manually. I was too salty. So I said, I'm not doing nothing manually. They said, well, you can go online and get the application. So I went online and got the application, but I opened it in Acrobat Adobe for the fill-in form. And it is a fill-in form. So if you find that you have a situation where all of your loans are not included in the consolidation and it's been sitting for several months, like mine sat from November, it doesn't take that long for your loans to be consolidated. It should be, they say 45 to 60 days, something like that. It usually takes less than 2 weeks for them to finish that consolidation, but definitely not from November to March, almost April. So I did the online, I did my form, I did a fill-in form so I opened it up on Acrobat, did a fill-in form and signed it and everything. And then she gave me the email address to email it, and I emailed it to the Advantage for them to include that $62,000. It's like, y'all not gonna do this to me. So I was like, look, I got a bunch of people that I have helped get student loan forgiveness, and they're sending me back their messages telling me that they got their loan forgiven, and I see the comments, and I'm like, well, what's happening with the rest of mine? So she was like, we're going to get you done. We'll get you done. I promise we're going to get you done. So I'm like, okay, I'm trying so hard not to complain. as I patiently walk through this process. So there are mistakes that happen, and I'm not justifying the mistakes by any means. I'm just telling you it's not a perfect world, and there might be some more that you have to do. And I guess having to go through that gives me a little bit more knowledge to be able to answer somebody else's problems. What's the difference? Sincerely, Janae, I don't know what you're referring to. Can you still consolidate? Yes. But you need to decide whether you need to consolidate, because some of y'all don't need to consolidate. And I don't know why these loan services are not telling you that if you're doing it with them. You don't necessarily need to consolidate if your loans are already direct loans. There would be no reason for you to consolidate. You're getting a payment count adjustment as long as that loan is a direct loan. So some of your loans are already set up for forgiveness. You don't necessarily get forgiveness immediately. Some people are happening over time. Like I was getting ready to say about the parent, the public service loan forgiveness. Some people are ready, but they said for some people who are just within 2 years, they're going to send you an email. Y'all should be getting an email this week telling you that you only have 2 years to go and congratulating that you only have 2 years to go. So everybody's situation is different. It's not one size fit all. This is not one application like it was during the pandemic for $10,000 to $20,000. Some people have $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 worth of student loans that they're being forgiven for. So it's not a quickie one application situation. It is you applying for what you need to within your account to make sure that your account is prepared for forgiveness sooner rather than later. For some people, it's going to knock off 5 years. For some people, it's going to knock off 10 years that you've been paying more than you're supposed to, and you're going to get a refund check. For some people on public service loan forgiveness, if you did public service loan forgiveness application already, you probably need to do another one if you haven't done one in the last year. Because first of all, you're supposed to do those every year. And if you haven't done one to catch this payment count adjustment, again, y'all who are just coming on, please make sure you share. I see 3 shares, and I don't know if that's one person to share with 3 people or 3 people that share, but please go to the bottom of your screen and share this live. People need to know this information, y'all. And I'm telling you about student loan forgiveness because I want to see you forgiven, and I want to see people get this information. I hope that your heart is the same. If you just go down and hit the arrow on the bottom of your screen, it's the arrow that's to the right, and then just give it to anybody. Just share that this live is on, and you'll be surprised at who needs to know about this live. Thank y'all. I see y'all doing it now. 7, 8, 9. Thank y'all. And it's it doesn't just help me. I mean, I'm here because I'm just doing this because I'm just trying to point out to you guys some of your options and that you don't know that are available. But let's get as many people on as we possibly can. For plan, I don't know what that discussion was. How do I get service time with my current employer updated to reflect all my public service loan forgiveness time? Those applications, Sarah, need to be completed every year. But the payment count, the public service loan forgiveness has changed a little bit. Some of the guidelines have changed where some people who were not qualifying now qualify. But regardless of whatever, you still want to go ahead and do a new public service loan application if you haven't done one since December, because this payment count adjustment is slightly different than it was before. And they have to be done by April 30th, 2024. And if you do have public service loan forgiveness that you're applying for, please make sure that all of your loans, including those that you have, those older loans that you may have, or any Parent Plus loans, they all need to be consolidated also so that they're included in the payment count adjustment. You won't know what your payment count is for some of you guys. Some of you guys are getting immediate forgiveness, but some of you guys, it's not adjusting until July of this year. So please make sure you're including everything, and it's not just for public service workers. Do I wait to set up a pay plan until after my consolidation gets assigned to a new service? Well, it's going to ask you, Rachel, it's going to ask you to go ahead and set up a payment plan When you consolidate, you're going to pick your payment plan at that time. And then it's gonna go to the new servicer. Now, if the payment that they show you is too high, then you may need to go back in and go through that, like I said, studentaid.gov payment wizard, to see if you can get that payment reduced. I'm sorry, could you please briefly explain the forgiveness loans? Just a minute, user 718. So yes, you're gonna need to pick a payment plan. Now, if you have those older loans, as long as you put them in a direct loan, they don't have to be on an income driven repayment plan. They need to be. If I had a loan that's 20 to 25 years old, and I'm waiting on them to give me my payment count adjustment, I would apply for a forbearance or a deferment, because I'm just not going to pay you while I'm being forgiven. I just don't think that makes any sense. All right, so briefly explain forgiveness loans. Forgiveness loan is not a forgiveness loan. You got the loan, and now you're trying to be forgiven. Is what we're doing. Is what you're doing. And if you're doing a consolidation, you're taking your loans and you're consolidating them into one, because they're not direct loans. A Parent Plus loan is not a direct loan. That loan needs to be consolidated into a direct loan. OFFEL loans, Stafford loans. I'm so sorry. Perkins loans. Those loans need to be consolidated into direct loans also, if you want them included in the payment count adjustment. And definitely those you want included in the payment count adjustment, because some of those are really old loans. So, but yeah, so that's what you're doing. So you're gonna make sure that so some of you, none of this applies. Like you don't have those old Stafford loans from back in the 90s or early 2000s. And you don't have Parent Plus loans. You just got regular student loans, right? Some of you. And for those, you guys are probably already in a SAVE plan. If it depends on what your income is. But you guys don't have loans that need to be consolidated into direct loans. They don't do no consolidating. That's not necessary. For now, typically if you consolidate a loan back, like before this special payment count adjustment, then they were starting your loan over. But this doesn't do that. This one is going to still get the payment count adjustment. What is that? That goes back to that first loan that you have, the oldest loan that you have, and then it gives you a count. So say your oldest loan was 20 years ago or 19 years ago. You're going to get a count towards this year for anything that happened 19 years ago up to today, even if it was a Parent Plus loan, as long as everything is put into a direct consolidation loan. The unique thing about the Parent Plus loan, though, that loan is a 25-year loan. But for whatever reason, under public service loan forgiveness, if you're a public servant, they're going to forgive that 25-year loan, that 25 Parent Plus year loan, in 10 years if you're a public servant. So if you consolidate it into a direct loan, you'll get that 10-year instead of the 25-year. When you consolidate a Parent Plus loan, that makes your loan eligible for public. No. PSLF is public service loan forgiveness. You have to apply. If you work for a nonprofit or a government entity, you have to apply for public service loan forgiveness, if that's your situation. And it will let you know if your company is an eligible company. Now, you guys who are contracted, not contracted by a company that's not if you are personally contracted by the federal government or by a nonprofit to work for them, then you still will qualify for public service loan forgiveness if you have a direct contract. Not if you work for a company that has a contract and now you work for that company. That company would also have to be a nonprofit or a government entity. But if you are a contract worker working for a nonprofit, and that could be a church. You might be the musician at a church, and the church is a nonprofit. You qualify for public service loan forgiveness. You're still a public serving worker. Even if you don't get a W-2, even if it's just a contract between you and the church, Because you have that contract, you still qualify for public service loan forgiveness. Contractor, if you own a non, if you not run if you run a nonprofit organization and you're the only person that's able to sign your document that you work for that nonprofit and you run a nonprofit, then you can still qualify for public service loan forgiveness, but they're going to want to see your determination, 501c3 determination, and your taxes for your 990. So they're going to see that this is a valid organization. But if you run a nonprofit, you can still apply for a public service loan forgiveness. So do the loans my son has while in school, can I, as the parent, put them under me as? No, you cannot take your son's loans and put them under you. They're his loans. But if you got a Parent Plus loan to help pay for your son to go to school, y'all sometimes are confusing that, thinking that that is the student's loan. It is not. It's your loan that you use to help your student go to school. That is a Parent Plus loan. If that's what you did, if you got a loan, a Parent Plus loan to help your student go to school, even though you use that for your student's education and that's all you're supposed to use it for, but keep in mind those expenses. Now, I always remind people, don't tell me that my student don't have no expenses in my house, because you come here and you eat and you drink and you got 2 places that you stay, school and here. So don't trip about what I do with the student, because some of that, I'm just saying, that's me. But but nonetheless, so that's your loan, your responsibility, not your student's responsibility. So if that's the case, then yeah, you can put that under public service loan forgiveness. But if it's your student's loan who is in school getting himself a loan, that has nothing to do with you. Even if you're trying to take responsibility and pay his loans for him, that loan is in his name. But if you got a Parent Plus loan to use to pay for your child's school, that's your loan. That's not your student's loan. And I know sometimes parents get their students to pay that loan when they graduate and say, I got that loan for you to go to school. But technically, legally, it's your responsibility no matter what relationship you have with your child or what agreement you have with your child. Let's see. We'll lose. Okay, let's see who else. Hi. Do all nurses get loan forgiveness? No. User 9250. You have to work for a nonprofit hospital or nonprofit organization, because you may do private. I don't know what you do. Or you have to work for a government entity. So if where you work is a government company or a nonprofit, then yes. But if that's not the case, then no. But there is another program for nurses willing to work in rural communities. I have some videos on that. And they are actually encouraging y'all to do that, and they help you pay for some of your student loans that way. Y'all, there's also, there's a lot of stuff I got to do some more videos on for nurses and doctors to help pay for your education. And they pay for everything and give you a stipend. My loans are with Mohila. Do I need to contact them? Dree, you can contact them, but to what extent? Because everything that you need can be done on studentaid.gov, and that's your real lender. The servicer is, if your loan is a federal loan, then the federal government is your lender. Mohila does handle loans that are not federal, but as far as I know, they do. All of the services do, but the federal loans, you can go on studentaid.gov to see the status, who's handling them. You can apply for your consolidation if you need to. You can apply for the SAVE plan if you need to. So you can do all that. Or you can see if your loans are under the SAVE plan. You can see all of that on studentaid.gov. Okay. Do you still have to pay regarding forgiveness? Yes. So Desiree, Desire W. If you are on, so say you get to income driven repayment plan and you income driven repayment plan and everything's straightened out for yours. So you got your consolidate your loan, you got your income driven repayment plan, you're on the SAVE plan. Some people's payment will be zero depending on where their income is and the number of people in their household, right? Because you do have to tell them how many people are in your household. But some people won't get a zero payment. Some people have a payment that they have to pay. If you can afford to pay that payment, pay it. And if not, you may need to look at doing a deferment or forbearance. to see if you can get that payment. When you do a forbearance or deferment, you don't make a payment until they give you a time frame of how long you can go without making a payment. If you're somewhere near forgiveness, I would definitely consider doing a forbearance or it's a hardship forbearance or deferment. If you're somewhere near forgiveness, because you're paying towards something that you're getting ready to be forgiven for. So you have to use your wisdom, and you have to look at your financial situation to determine if that's what you want to do. Do you offer processing the forgiveness for others? No. T Mustafa. And the studentaid.gov is saying if you pay somebody up front to do any work for you to help you with this, because this is all stuff that you can get done for free. You don't need to pay anybody. If you pay somebody up front, then that's a scam. What you're paying for me as a subscriber is just for me to respond to you, pretty much like I'm doing now, but I actually go through like your loan situation, what's going on. We kind of talk about it and help you understand what is available to you so that you can create a plan of action based on real knowledge, because I actually show you where to go and show you the actual information. And then we kind of go back and forth a little bit and make sure you're comfortable with everything. And then the final part is I say, well, contact studentaid.gov and make sure you're comfortable. Or in some cases, you may end up talking to your loan servicer and letting them know what you want to do, because then some of them are not giving you all your options and not talking you through. So that's a common problem. So I just kind of make sure that you have awareness so that you're making an educated decision. And that's for me to talk to you personally. So that's what the subscription is all about. Please hit like anywhere where you don't see any words, you guys, so we can keep getting people on. So that would be the reason that you would subscribe to me. Otherwise, I have like about 49. I have about 49 videos out there. I do these lives for free, and I have a free podcast, which you just go to my page and look on the bio and go straight to the podcast. So I do try to ensure that you guys have as much information as possible. I mean, I had somebody who literally came to me today and said, I listened to your videos, I listened to your podcast, I came to your live, I did XYZ, 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 XYZ. She would not subscribe. And I'm like, okay. And I told her several times to subscribe, but she keep coming back asking me questions. So I was like, but you did everything. So yeah, you did everything but subscribe, and then you come back asking me a question. But you did everything else that I mentioned in all the lives. So then you do have to subscribe, because I got to pay attention to my subscribers first. But I let her know, I can't see any reason why you should subscribe, because you looked at all the videos and you did everything, and you were able to get everything done without subscribing. And that's okay, y'all, because $7.99 really is not worth my time. I do that because I feel like you pay for what you care about, And so $7.99 for a subscription, for some people, they just subscribe because they were trying to be supportive of my work. And I appreciate that. And I'll ask them, can I help you with something? They're like, no, you give me a lot of information. I just want to show you that I support you. So I appreciate that. That's like a major gift. But some of y'all don't need to do that. Some of you guys, your account, you're not doing a payment count, you're not doing a consolidation, you don't have public service loan forgiveness, you don't have a Parent Plus, your account is not stuck in limbo like mine was. I kind of knew what to do, but I didn't want to, but I did finally go in and do it, and I got it done today. You just you kind of understand everything, you don't necessarily need to subscribe. But for those of you who just really like, Pastor Cheryl, I'm not moving, I feel paralyzed, I don't even know where to start, can you just tell me? Y'all go to studentaid.gov and you guys just start hitting consolidate, and I'm like, no, that doesn't mean that you apply for student loan forgiveness because you hit the word consolidate. So some people need a little bit more. All right, so do you offer? So I don't offer processing the forgiveness, and I don't recommend that you pay anybody to do that. Team Mustafa, I promise you, the stuff I'm telling you, you can go look it up on studentaid.gov. It's free. You don't need to pay anybody to do this for you. And the time that they spend doing something for you is just asking you a bunch of questions and doing it's an easy application. I mean, it's so easy. It's just understanding exactly what you need to do. And that's all that they're charging for. And like I said, studentaid.gov is telling y'all, that's a scam. They're not supposed to charge you up front. In fact, some companies that started up as student loan forgiveness companies that said they were going to help people have actually faced lawsuits for doing that. So just be careful. No. And some of y'all want to send me your documents and ask me for my email and can I send you my page? No, you can't send me your screen page because I'm scared that you might send me something that's got too much information on it, and I don't want your personal information. And you should not be sending that to people on TikTok. Not the lady with the crazy glasses and the big wigs on TikTok. Don't send me your information. But the discussions that we have, you went to school. You're not slow. You got this. I promise you, you can figure this out really easy. It is not rocket science. So somebody is an attorney on here right now that's charging people for student loan forgiveness and that's criticizing other people for telling people about student loan forgiveness and using his law degree as a defense for why he is able to give you sound advice. And this is not legal advice. How does an attorney justify charging you for something that's free by telling you he's an attorney and he could be sued if he gives you misinformation and it's not legal advice? I don't know, but I looked that up and I was like, can an attorney be sued for giving you advice that's not legal advice? And you're not signing anything saying that he's your attorney. He's just giving you student loan forgiveness. And it's all on studentaid.gov. It's right there. It's on studentaid.gov. Everything that you want to know is on studentaid.gov. Everything. All I do is say, this is where it is. Like some of you guys want total permanent disability. I'm about to stop ranting. Some of you guys have a disability. And some of you are just, look, some of y'all have a disability that your doctor recognizes as a disability, even though Social Security doesn't. Some of you guys, doctors can say, some of y'all are on short-term or long-term disability, but studentaid.gov doesn't recognize it. Or you are simply not working and your doctor says, no, you can't do gainful employment, gainful activities. Gainful activities is just being able to work more than 30 hours a week. If you cannot work more than 30 hours a week, then your doctor will likely say that you are disabled, total permanent. And if your condition has lasted 60 months or expected to last 60 months or more, you have a total permanent disability. You can qualify for discharge. Excuse me, it's called total permanent disability discharge. You qualify for that. It doesn't take an act of Congress or the Social Security Administration to show that you have total permanent disability. It has your doctor who agrees with that, and it does not have to be physical. It can also be mental. So some of y'all qualify for that and don't know you qualify for that. It's just a matter of knowing. And so what I do is just show you where it's at, let you read it for yourself, and you make a decision. So that's what the subscription is all about. So if you feel like you need me, the best thing for you to do is subscribe. That's only $7.99. And it's not, it's a little time consuming for me, but it's not much more than a ministry that I would do. I literally be up in bed at night answering y'all questions, cutting and pasting and showing you exactly where to go, giving you the link to the website, and going, okay, and then you might tell me something personal and I'm going to tell you I'm going to pray for you or whatever. But for the most part, I'm literally laying up in bed doing that at night. That's what I do. And so until I get sleepy, and then on to the next, and I try to catch everybody. And that's what I do. But that's it. And that's all you need. You don't need nobody to do all that other stuff for you, because you at the end of the day, you need to go and sign for it yourself. Hey, Sophie, I see you joined my team. But now, if you guys want to subscribe, the subscription is the little star at the bottom of the screen. You hit subscribe, and it costs $7.99. So that's what the subscription costs. Let's see. I'm going on. I got a lot of comments. Hey, I see that, Rose LJB. Thank you so much. I appreciate your gifts. I feel so. I have FFEL. Redhead, I don't know if you're still on here. I'm not ignoring y'all. I am going to your questions. So I need to change to a direct loan. Yes, if you have that FFEL, that loan is old as dirt. Redhead. If you want to be forgiven, if you want your loans forgiven, let's just put it to you like this. They do not forgive. They're not giving the payment count adjustment to loans that are not direct loans. They have to be a direct loan. So you could turn it off, yes. So they have to be a direct loan. So those OFFEL loans were private loans that were backed by the federal government. They have to be consolidated into direct loans, and then they will give you the payment count adjustment, especially if they're 20 to 25 years old. If you've been paying longer than that, they're actually refunding you money, and they're giving you credit. If it was on a if it was on a payment plan, if it was on a income driven payment plan, if it was on a deferment, forbearance, zero payments that you made, even if you defaulted, you can get a fresh start. They will go back and give you that payment count adjustment. For some people, they're going to do it right away, and for other people, you're going to get your letter by July 1st, 2024. That's the date that they're saying they're going to do it by. And if you believe that they have made a mistake, because they messed up on mine, I got mine fixed I'm working on getting mine fixed today. But so if you believe they made a mistake, they're asking you, as far as your payment count, keep in mind, we're talking about two different things here. Three, actually. If you're consolidating from a regular loan, from some of those older loans into a direct loan, that's just your consolidation process. That's just saying, I no longer want to have it serviced by this old private company that was doing it or whatever, and then they gave it to one of these loan services or whatever. I want my loan to become a federal loan, not backed by the federal government, but owned by the federal government. Those loans get moved as to a direct loan when you do that. That's one process if you need to do that. If it's a Parent Plus, that needs to be moved into a direct loan. That's that one process of taking your loans that are not direct loans and put them into a direct loan. That's some of y'all that need to do that. Then there are others of you who are public servants. You might need to do a consolidation and a public service loan application. That's two different applications. So you consolidated, that's one application, and then you got the public service loan forgiveness, that's a second application. Those are two different processes and two different applications. And yes, you have to do them if you are a public service worker. Public service definition is that you work for a nonprofit or a government entity. But not everybody has to be a public service worker to get forgiveness. Please hit like, please hit like, please hit like, please hit like, please hit like. Don't get stuck. I know I'm explaining this to you. But please hit like. That's the second part of the process for forgiveness. Please hit like. I don't see any hearts. If I don't see any hearts, it's no sense of me continuing to talk. Third part of the process is choosing your payment plan. For some of you, you will qualify for the SAVE plan. If you have a Parent Plus, those loans do not qualify for the SAVE plan. You can consolidate them into a direct loan, but they do not become part of the SAVE plan. You might have to do the income contingent repayment plan for your Parent Plus and the SAVE plan for all the rest of your loans. But as long as that Parent Plus is consolidated into a direct loan, it will get the payment count adjustment regardless of whether you consolidate it with your other loans or not, as long as you consolidate it into a direct loan before April 30, 2024. That has nothing to do with what payment plan you pick. The payment plan is a third part of the application process. And I know this is confusing because it's not like that one application that you did during the pandemic. No, it's whatever your situation is for your particular account. It's you getting your account ready for forgiveness. That's what you're doing. Okay, so this is the third thing, is to picking your payment plan. If you pick the SAVE plan, the difference between the SAVE plan, because the SAVE plan that y'all been hearing about is an income-driven repayment plan. It's based on people's income who have less than 225% of the poverty guide. So that's the income-driven repayment part of it. And they're saying that your discretionary income or your adjusted gross income has to be less than 225% of the poverty guide for today or whatever. So that's what's going to get you qualified for the SAVE plan. The SAVE plan has benefits that go along with it. Remember, I just gave y'all three now. I gave you the consolidation. I told you about the public service. And some people who are public servants are going to get the consolidation and the public service loan forgiveness and the SAVE plan. They're going to get like a 3-part series for them. That's 3 different applications, because now you have to pick your payment plan. Please hit like where y'all don't see any words, please. So now you're picking your payment plan. That's a third process that you have to go through. But all this can happen concurrently. All this can happen together. You could be doing all this in one sitting. So as much as it sounds confusing, it just depends on your situation, okay? So thank y'all for getting it. Thank y'all for doing the likes. I see somebody is liking it. I know I got some more comments to get, but I want to give y'all all these parts so you can understand the difference. So now you're picking your payment plan. You may not qualify for the SAVE plan. It might just be that the payments are too high. So you look at another income-driven repayment plan to see the one that works for you. You may look at all the income-driven repayment plans and say, none of those work for me. I consolidated my loans. I got the public service loan forgiveness, whether you need it or not. I got, everything. I'm picking my plan and I cannot afford none of that. You may end up having to then do another application, which would be that you would go in through the studentaid.gov payment wizard and say that you have a hardship. You cannot afford the payment that they're giving you. So that is yet another application that you have to complete. So you may complete multiple applications depending on your circumstances, which is why people end up subscribing to me, because I may have to tell you, go here to do this. This is what is, instead of you looking all over the place trying to figure out what I fit in and where, I'll just tell you exactly, this is where you go. Here's copy and paste this link, and this is going to take you straight to the page, and it's explaining to you, and here's what it's going to say. And then you look and you say, oh, yep, that's exactly what it says. So that's why people subscribe. All right, so once you get that could be 4. And somebody who is a public service worker may need all 4 of those processes. Somebody who's not a public service worker may only need 3 of those processes. Somebody who doesn't need any of those processes may already have their account set up and ready to be forgiven. Some of you will be forgiven in 10 years because maybe you're on the SAVE plan I see you living with. Thank you so much for being a part of my team. And if you want to subscribe, that's who I respond to, is you hit the star at the bottom. Subscriptions cost $7.99. If you have not paid that $7.99 and got a confirmation that you paid that, then you're not a subscriber. That doesn't mean I won't answer you. That means I cannot answer you right away because I got subscribers that I have to answer to first. And I do that because they invested something in me, and I want to make sure that I give them something for doing that. And that's my appreciation, is my response. But that does not mean I won't respond to you if you have not paid. I literally had somebody say she couldn't pay $7.99. Now, for somebody else, you might say, what do you mean? But I've been there. Been there, done that, lived that. So I know what that feels like when you don't have. I remember going to church, and when they was doing the offering, I would dig in my purse for as much change as I had and put it in and ask them to pray that one day I'll be able to tithe. So I know what that feels like. And y'all, I tithe handsomely. I give way more than my tithes these days. But I'm just giving you an example. I know what it feels like not to have $7.99, and I'm empathetic to that. I really do. I really am. But some of y'all are asking for hundreds of $1,000s worth of information, and you don't want to pay $7.99, and I'm not getting ready to do that with you. So I'm doing it on the lives, and I got all those videos out there for free, and I have a podcast for free. So I'm trying to help you without asking you for anything, because I can't even get a gift. So don't feel this is not a guilty conscience thing. I'm not trying to make you feel guilty. I'm just letting you know why I respond to my subscribers first, because I feel like you took that time to subscribe, and I want to give you some attention for that. So, but I'm going to do this till the cows come home. But I will tell you this. If you were tempted to subscribe and they extend this, because this is the 3rd extension they did. They had it in May 2023. They had it December 31st, 2023 was a deadline. And now they extended to April 30th, 2023. And I've literally been asking people to contact the White House and ask them to extend it again. If they extend this again, come May, I am going up on my subscriptions, and it will be considerably, because I feel like I have given enough information to help enough people. So if you have not subscribed and they end up extending this one more time and you're asking me questions, I don't even know. I said I'll probably go up to $30 to $50. I don't even know, but I'm going up considerably because this is very time consuming to do this with people. All right, so Natasha, I have Ed Financial. Are they forgiving loans on the SAVE plan? Yes, Natasha, if you qualify for the SAVE plan, then yes, because you have to remember be at 225%. Thank you so much, Living With. Thank you for the chili. I don't mean to be salty or hot, spicy. Thank you so much for the gifts. I really appreciate you. But so Natasha, you can go ahead and apply for but you can go through and do all that on studentaid.gov, so you can see all of your loans and make sure you catch everything in case you need to consolidate. Because when you hit that, if you just decide to pick the SAVE plan as your income driven repayment plan, it's going to tell you if you have some loans that don't qualify. It's going to say you got these loans out here that needs to be consolidated if you want them to be included into the SAVE plan. So it kind of directs you as to what needs to be included in order for you to get it. Okay. And if that SAVE plan is too high, then you can pick another income driven repayment plan, or you can ask for them to give you a consideration for forbearance or deferment. All right. If I have only a Parent Plus loan, is there anything I can do for forgiveness? Just Sand. I don't know if you're still on here. I caught you. I'm sorry. Yes, there is, but you got to weigh it out. If you have just the Parent Plus loan and no open student loans to go along with it, they're going to increase your interest rate to today's interest rate, so your payments could be a lot higher. But how much you owe could be higher. But it will also put you into an income driven repayment plan, which is the income contingent repayment plan. And that plan can only charge you a maximum of 20% of your discretionary income. And that's at 100% of the poverty line guide. So it does give you, it may give you a break in your payment plan as opposed to the traditional or the regular student loan, Parent Plus loan payment plan that you're in right now. That can give you a little bit of a break. And then you still can apply for forbearance or deferment if those payments are unaffordable. You just cannot do that. You cannot pay those payments. So yeah, there's that. Also for Parent Plus can be included if you do need that total permanent disability discharge. If you have a disability, Parent Plus loans can be included in that. If you have the Borrower Defense Fund and your student, if you apply for Borrower Defense and your student went to a school that misled them, there was a list of schools that are included in Borrower Defense. That's that Cordova, whatever, lawsuit, but it also includes more schools. But what they did was they changed that guideline to include any school that may have done that to you. But they have not given an effective date for that change yet. And they said that's if they even give an effective date for that change. So right now they're going to use the old guidelines until they come up with an effective date for that Borrower Defense. But there are 6 reasons why you may be able to use the Borrower Defense as an explanation as to why you don't feel you should have to pay your loan. They have to be legitimate, and then the studentaid.gov will check and see if your claim is legitimate. And if you're found to have a legitimate claim, then you can get Parent Plus loans forgiven too for the school that your student attended if you feel like they misled your student or imposed some kind of coercion to get your student to go to that school, or made promises of jobs that your student wasn't able to get. And you would not have, and your student would not have picked that school had that not happened. Then you can get forgiven, discharge for those. But again, it's not just those schools that they had on the list, not just those closed schools, but the effective date of the new guideline has not gone into effect. They said it was going to happen November 2023. Here we are in 2024, and they still don't have the guidelines, but they are accepting applications. If you apply for the Borrower Defense because you believe that you qualify for the Borrower Defense discharge, then they're going to put all of your loans on a forbearance. So they won't have you pay any of your loans while they're determining whether you qualify for the Borrower Defense discharge. So that's another, but you can include Parent Plus loans in that also. So there are different paths to forgiveness. And that's why if you're a subscriber, I go through your different paths with you to see exactly what's the best one for you, so that you are not missing out on something that you didn't know you may have qualified for. So yes, I am definitely dealing with my subscribers first. It's Parent Plus count. Yes, I told y'all Parent Plus does, as long as you consolidate it into a direct loan. Okay. Drea, can I get forgiven if I'm public service loan forgiveness and I've never made a payment? Yes, you may. So it doesn't matter. By April 30th, I need some water, and I do not have any. I wish I could tell my son, bring me a bottle of water. I have to tell him to bring me some water. Yes, if you have not made any payments, if you are in default, then you're going to need to, if you're in default, you're going to need to get a fresh start and get your loans cleaned up. Then you can apply for, if you're already in public service loan forgiveness and you haven't been making payments and you need a fresh start, you can do a fresh start. But the public service loan forgiveness application needs to be submitted every year. And it definitely needs to be submitted if you haven't done it since April 30th, because you need to get this new payment count adjustment. So some people will be defaulted on their loans, haven't paid their loans, messed up, that for whatever reason life happened. And they have those old loans that are like 20 something years old, but they are defaulted and they got this attitude like, forget it, I just won't live with credit and I don't care anymore, I'm so sick of this stuff, Well, you can get right now, because that fresh start is getting ready to end in September 2024. So for those of you who don't want to take the time to do it, you're going to lose an opportunity. They're going to actually consider your stuff current on your credit report. You get a fresh start for real. This is not for joke. This is not for play. And if you can't afford the payments, there's things that you could do to let them know that you can't afford the payments. If you could, you wouldn't have been paying. So there's things you could do to do that, to do those applications so that you can get your fresh start. But some people are not. It's like pulling teeth to try to explain that to you. But you can have that. So again, I'm gonna remind you, if you need something more personal or need some more explanation outside of what I give you for free, you're gonna want to subscribe. Don't forget about the subscription. It's $7.99. Let's see. I spoke to Advantage today, and I'm even more confused about my loan. Only a portion got forgiven. Okay, and that becomes frustrating, Jerica. You may have some loans that need to be consolidated. Also, there's this issue of them not doing the whole payment count adjustment until July. But why they did not include some of your loans? Because you said you spoke to Advantage. They may not have, you may have some loans that you need to consolidate, because there are some loans that do not qualify for the payment count adjustment unless you consolidate them. If you got some loans that were actually forgiven, now that's the question. Were they forgiven, or were they moved over to another servicer and you didn't see? Because once they move from one servicer to another one, they pay off the first servicer and then they send it over to the other servicer. So the question is, are you sure that was the process that you went through, and are you sure all of your loans were included? So they need to all be direct loans. And I know you guys would rather do the work yourself than to subscribe. That's perfectly fine if that's what you want to do. If you subscribe to me later, as soon as I can go up on the subscription, I am. And that's just because it's so time consuming. Do you offer forgiveness service? No, T. Mustafa, I think you got that answer though. Once we consolidate them, do we make payments or still? Once you consolidate the loan, do we make payments or still do a deferment? If you cannot afford the payment, then you do a deferment. If you are somewhere near forgiveness, like you got your 20 to 25 years in, for me personally, I'm not gonna pay. I'm gonna tell them to defer mine or forgive me or put me on an administrative forbearance, because you are not getting ready to get no money out of me and you're getting ready to forgive me. So me personally, I'm not gonna do that. So I'm gonna get a deferment of forbearance. An administrative forbearance is when the service provider recognizes, oh, we can't charge you nothing because they're getting ready to work out your payments and you getting ready to be forgiven because you got 20 to 25 years worth of payments. We need to untouch you. Also, if they mess up on anybody's loan, if you have a loan that they messed up on, like you've been paying 20 to 25 years or more, and they messed up and they should have forgiven you before, they are supposed to automatically give you an administrative forbearance. That was written into the guideline, and some of them are not doing that, so you need to challenge them on that. But I'm not paying, not me. I have an FFE. Okay, yep, redhead. I think I dealt with you. Some of these are taking me backwards, y'all. If defaulted in the past 10 years and only work for nonprofit government jobs, do I qualify for forgiveness? Yes, you do, Miss TCSTL. So what you need to do is you still need to apply for the public service loan forgiveness. You still need, for first you're going to need to get into a fresh start. So you can clean up that loan and get you into a fresh start. I don't know if you have to wait until the fresh start finishes though. So I would still submit my you don't have to wait. Submit your public service loan forgiveness application on studentaid.gov, even though you are going to be seeking a fresh start, and do your fresh start application too. So you're going to do them at the same time, or on the same, concurrently. So one or the other, and I would do the fresh start first, and then do the public service loan forgiveness application. Because they're still gonna give you your payment count adjustment, as if you made payments, even if you defaulted. So yes, you still want to get that because you still qualify for that. Hey Krishia, I don't know if I answered your question because you said, oh, okay, thank you. So you must have got a question answered. You guys, I see that, Top Gun, I don't know if I didn't get a chance to respond to you yet. So let me just, Maverick, yes I did. I think at least at minimum I'm following you. Let me follow you back. And then I'll make sure that I send you a message if I haven't, because I saw Maverick, but I didn't see that you subscribed. So you subscribed one day ago, because I've been seeing you for a minute. Maverick. Okay, wait a minute. Is a pharmacist representative that works in hospitals considered? If the pharmacist representative that works in a hospital is a contract worker and the hospital is a nonprofit hospital or a government hospital, and you have a contract to do that work with them, then yes, you qualify for public service loan forgiveness. And if you subscribe, I'll send that to you. Okay, so Maverick, this is my subscriber, so I'm going to stop for a minute because I have to focus on Maverick. I have a student loan for 33 years. I only make one pay. You, Maverick, what you do is you go and you consolidate that loan into a direct loan, because that's one of those old loans, and don't make any payments. Then if they ask you to make payments, then you tell them you need a hardship, and you to do a forbearance on that or a deferment, and let them know that loan is 33 years old. They haven't collected on it all these years, and they're not gonna get no money today, because that loan is gonna be forgiven anyway because of the age of it. So you can do the fresh start and go ahead and consolidate that loan into a direct loan, okay? And get that done. Get both those applications done before April 30th, okay? And then if they ask you to make a payment, they should be putting you on a administrative forbearance. But if they don't, then you apply for a forbearance so that you don't have to pay on it. Yes, Top Gun. I will get to you to make sure that you go through step by step that process, and I'll show it to you because you're already a subscriber. So when you just remind me that you sent that on the live, and then I will tell you what to do. Oh, you're welcome, Quantum Leopard. Thank you so much for extending your blessings towards me. No, it's not gonna do him any good, Lachey. I know you're trying to look out for your son, but he's in school. So first of all, he's in school, and so he probably has an in-school deferment. If he has an in-school deferment, he cannot get this student loan forgiveness. And then even if he takes it off of deferment, he still has a 6-month grace period, and you cannot get this while you're in a grace period. But don't fret, because I did hear, and I was looking for it. I was like, can I find anywhere I could confirm this as? So I only heard it, but it does make sense, right? That they are working to try to do some type of student loan forgiveness for students that are still in school. So it does make sense that they're making those attempts to do that. Problem is, these guidelines, this student loan forgiveness that they're doing right now, that's why y'all got to go through all these. Like most people are saying, like, why can't they just forgive? because they have to change the guidelines. That's all they can legally do. It's an act of Congress to do actual loan forgiveness as we would like it done. And the administration attempted to do that outside of Congress. And then the Supreme Court said it was not constitutional. You don't have the authority to do that. So all they have is to change the guidelines. That's all they have. And so y'all have to go through the guideline changes to get your student loan forgiveness. It can't just happen like that. But be mindful, it is way more than $10,000 to $20,000 that they were trying to do during the pandemic, because there is no limit to how much can be forgiven. So I would say, while the Supreme Court said no when the guidelines came and changed, it's like, hey, this look a whole lot better. Because when they were talking about $10,000 to $20,000, I was like, that's not worth the time of me going in and doing the application. I did the application just because, but I was like, it just was a waste of my time, because I owed $300,000. I was like, that wasn't. Back then, I don't think I owed that much. But I was like, that is a drop in the hat, not worth my time. Let me just go see what the application looked like so I can do some videos on it. I really did not care about that $10,000 to $20,000. But when they said there's no limit, there is no limit. It's people who owe $400,000, $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 student loans. They have graduate loans, because they went to graduate school to become doctors or whatever, PhD, whatever. I don't think a PhD. I don't think you can use a PhD. But they went for the graduates. Went to graduate school. I never went to graduate school. I don't know how far those loans go. But they have loans, and they're excessive. Some people became doctors, owe $100,000 worth of. Man, it's just, or somebody told me they owe near a million for going to become a doctor. So there's no limit to the amount of forgiveness. It's more time than amount or income driven. Okay. She is right. It's easy. I applied for a consolidation and it's still processing. It really is. Y'all don't, I can give you some insight, but you don't need me. You don't need to pay me to do it for you. But I am going to charge more soon. As soon as I can, I'm going up, and I'm going up considerably, because I feel like I've given a lot of information to a lot of people for free. And who are y'all? Who are y'all gonna get up here for $7.99? I don't care how many people, because I can have 10 people pay $7.99 tonight. But the time that I spent answering your individual questions on message is longer than an hour for $7.99. I'm not getting paid minimum wage, and I gotta share that $7.99. I don't get to keep all that. I have to share that with TikTok and whatever company y'all use to pay from. It's all kind of fees that come out of that. I don't get that whole $7.99. So believe you me, I'm not skating on nothing for that $7.99. It's just not worth it. Not for my general time, but my ministry, it's a ministry. All right, so let's see. If I've already consolidated through Navient years ago, am I eligible to apply? If you consolidated through Navient years ago, you may have done that from Sallie Mae to Navient. That's not a consolidation to a direct loan. So I would say go to studentaid.gov, Quantum Leopard. Go to studentaid.gov to make sure that your loan is a direct loan. And if it is not, now it needs to be consolidated. It has to be done before April 30th. Okay? Oh, Top Gun, yep, I know you subscribe. And TikTok told me to subscribe. Who is this giving me roses? Thank you, LGB. I think I told you thank you already. Thank you so much. Yep, and you said welcome. With Navia. Okay, so I talked to you about that already. Quantum Leopard, hopefully you heard that. Hey, Teddy Ted, I didn't see you on here. Hey. That's one of my subscribers, y'all. Okay, Lachey said, I have no old loans. All mine were forgiven through public service loan forgiveness. However, I now have a Parent Plus loan. What do I do? You are probably do you still work for a nonprofit organization? Then you're going to need to do another public service loan forgiveness application and consolidate your Parent Plus loan so that it can get the public service loan forgiveness if you still work for a nonprofit. but it's not going to get the payment count adjustment for the old loans because they were already forgiven. But if you still work for a nonprofit, you need to do another public service loan forgiveness application so that you can get your Parent Plus loans forgiven in 10 years as opposed to 25. Ms. D, I'm not in public service work field. Can I apply for loan forgiveness? Absolutely, Ms. D. This is not just for public service loans. This is for everyone. This is for everyone who has an open loan, whose loans can be consolidated if necessary. But what you're doing is you're getting that payment count adjustment that's going to go back to your oldest loan and give you credit for forgiveness as if you made payments on all that time, all these years. Okay, and so that so say your loans are 18 years old and you got some loans, maybe you went back to school for a grad loan or something, and you have one that's only 5 years old, and maybe you have a child that went to college and you got a Parent Plus loan for your student. All those need to be consolidated into a direct loan, and then they're going to give you a count adjustment going back to that oldest open loan to go towards these new loans for forgiveness. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. So you don't have to be a public service worker. No. But public service workers get theirs done in 10. So that's I'm one too. I've been in public service for a long time. And guess what, y'all? So say you worked in public, like I used to work in public service for Chicago Public Schools when I lived in Chicago. I left in 2014. Then I worked for regular companies. And in 2006, I left 2013. I stopped working for Chicago Public School. That was a government. That's considered a government entity. Then in 2016, which is a 3-year gap, I started working for a nonprofit, and I've been working for them since 2016. They're not going right now. If you do your public service loan forgiveness application for that old school and your current, any of your jobs that you worked at that were a nonprofit, you still need to do an application, even if you don't work at that company anymore, especially if you had a gap. Because right now they kind of give you a service gap, and they're kind of going to go ahead and give you credit for your time. So it doesn't have to be consecutive, in other words. So I don't know if they're going to give you time for those 3 years. Like say mine is 3 years in between. I don't think I'm getting 3 years in between time, but I still get the time that I was with that old school and the time I'm with my new provider together. I believe they said it was if they were gonna ignore this time in between. I don't know, but that I gotta confirm, because I just did my other application. Because I just did it because I wanted to make sure that I got all 10 years credit. So you want to make sure that you do a new application. If you haven't done one since December 31st, do a new public service application and include all the workplaces that you work for. If public service is what you're seeking for forgiveness, because that will take your Parent Plus loan and make those 10-year loans. Those 25-year Parent Plus loan, it will make it a 10-year loan and let you get credit for it for the 10 years that you worked for that nonprofit. It will give you your time. And then the payment count is going to go back to your oldest loan. So my oldest one goes all the way back to 2009. Okay? So from 2009 to today is my payment count. And then 2000, I actually started working at the Chicago Public School in 2009 also. 2009 to today is my work count. I don't know if they're going to give me credit for the 3 years that I was not working for a nonprofit, but nonetheless, they said that the years do not have to be consecutive, and they will still count them towards forgiveness. Okay, so it's not just for public service though, but and those are things that when you subscribe, I go through like what's going to count, and it doesn't matter to me because I got enough years. But if it mattered to you, then I do a little bit more research and get your answers. If I consolidate my direct loans into studentaid.gov, will it automatically apply? Yep, that's exactly what it is. It's not one application. The only one that has a real application that looks at it that actually says the word forgiveness in it is public service servants. Those are called public servant loan forgiveness. But everybody else, because y'all keep in mind, student loan forgiveness is not new. What's new for this, just through April 30th, 2024, is the payment count adjustment that's going to allow you to be forgiven sooner rather than later. But student loan forgiveness in and of itself is not new. You had an undergraduate loan and that was all you had. You were supposed to be forgiven in 20 years. Some of you may be, 15 years in, but your oldest loan is, 5 years older than that or whatever. They're going to go back to your oldest loan and then they give you credit for it now. And that's after deferment now. So if it was deferred, it's from the point that you were supposed to start paying. And they're going to give you credit for that as if you made payments. So keep in mind, if you got a loan, that was after that time, because you went back to school or because you did something for a student, that loan is now. Y'all, please hit like anywhere where you don't see any words. Please hit share. It's the bottom button that goes to the right. The bottom arrow that's going to the right at the bottom of your screen. Please hit share. It's more than just you that need to know this. I promise you, you are doing your civic duty to share this with somebody. So please share with at least several people. Thank you. I see those blue arrows going up. I know that you're sharing. It's 19 people that's been shared with. And I know I'm going to go and look and they're going to say over 2,000 people or 3,000 people watch this live. And I'm used to having 25,000 people watch my live and 500 people on. So I'm not used to having to ask y'all for likes and shares. But I'm doing that because I don't know why they're not giving this information to more people on TikTok these days. Thank you, Wendy, Diane, for the rose. You're a subscriber. I don't see you yet, Wendy, but I see you. Thank you for the roses. Thank you so much for the gifts. Thank you so much for the gifts. I really appreciate you. Top Gun, I see you got that. Okay, so you make sure you reach out to me, Top Gun, if you haven't already. I think you have, though. I got to go back. Thank you guys, for the roses. Thank y'all so much, Iriam. Thank you so much, Iriam Rivera. I really appreciate you. Thank you for public service loan forgiveness. Can you get it if you worked for a government in the past? No, you have to be currently working for a nonprofit or government entity currently when you apply. And the guideline has changed. Thank you, Jazz Wells. I appreciate the rose. Thank you for the rose so much. I appreciate y'all. Oh, thank you so much, Jazwell. Really appreciate you. You have to currently be working if you're going to go apply for it by public. If you apply, because there are different paths to forgiveness now, and I've gone over them with you. You got the public service loan forgiveness. You have total permanent disability discharge. You have borrower defense discharge. Those are all paths to forgiveness. You have the SAVE plan that can be forgiven within 10 years. That's an income driven repayment plan with benefits. That's another way to be forgiven. So there are all these different paths to forgiveness. And you guys, not one size fits all. I know it's a lot to navigate. Go through my videos, come to visit my lives, look at the podcast. You just go to my page, you can click on the podcast, and it is the first option for the podcast. But y'all, I recommend that you try to get what you can get for free. And if that doesn't work for you, you still have questions, subscribe. I will go through your questions for you and help you find your answers, and then suggest that you go to studentaid.gov to confirm everything, or your loan service providers to confirm everything, so you'll be ready and you know what you're doing. But no, you cannot do it if you worked in the past. You have to currently be working, and the guidelines change for public service. If you did not qualify for public service in the past and you apply and they denied your application, put it through again, because now it is that you only have to work 30 hours per week, 8 months out of the year, average. 30 hours per week, 8 months out of the year, average. So you may work 40 hours some weeks, 20 hours some weeks. You may work a month on, half month off. Some of the teachers just work several months out of the year, don't work during the summer. you still qualify for public service loan forgiveness. Some of you teachers have put your application in and you still waiting. You wondering what's going on or why haven't they put it in again. Please put it in again. Please put it in again. Please put your public service loan again application in. I see Auto Am Tiff. I see you subscribe. Hello, hello, hello. Oh, I'm on a sub wave. That's looking for 5 people to subscribe. 2 of y'all did within the next 14 minutes. So I'm in a subway. So nonetheless, if you think you need something more specific for you where I answer you directly, then I recommend you do the subscription, which is the star at the bottom of the screen. It's $7.99, and I do answer your direct questions based on what's going on with you. Oh, thank you for the necklace, Living with Melly Mel. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you for the necklace. Who is that else? Oh, you just been giving up some stuff. You done gave me a chili and everything. Woo! Can I do this? I want it to do it. Does it do this? No, it doesn't. It's not on. It's this thing which you do like this and a heart pops up. I want it. Thank you so much. That was so sweet. Let me see. What is that? Is it this? Let me see. Is this it? Nope. I don't want that. Oh, Lord. Let me get that off of me. Look, y'all see what I done did? Let me get this off of me. Want that on me. But they have something. Let me see. I want to see because it's got something like if I do like this, it gives me a hand. I forgot what it is though. I want to use it. Nope. I wanted to use the thing, so if I get y'all a heart, it's going to let me do it. Nope. All right, forget it. I can't find it. This is what I can do. I know this works. Let me see. This is what I can do. I know this works. I can't hear it, though. Thank you so much. I appreciate it so much. Thank y'all. That's a kiss. Thank y'all for the gifts. All right. Trying to subscribe, asking to agree to terms and conditions, but not loading. Okay, Quantum Leopard, if it doesn't work right now, just send me a message and I will send you the link. It's not letting me follow you either because you got a private page. So once you do subscribe, try again, because if you're not here, you can do it on my page. There's a star on my page and you can subscribe there. So whenever you get a chance, it'll be on the page too. Are you doing applications? No, Lux by Michelle. I'm not doing applications. It's not necessary for you to pay somebody to do these applications. This is all free stuff. The federal government does it. The application is free. Your loan service provider let me tell you something. The only place that is regulated in the federal, if you go to studentaid.gov, they will tell you this. The only people that are regulated to do this for you is the loan servicers. Anybody else, including that attorney that's on TikTok trying to act like he's regulated, you are not regulated, dear. Because there is no regulation for people helping you with studentaid.gov. But what is illegal is for somebody to charge you for a service that they have not yet provided. That's not legal for studentaid.gov, and that's why they're cracking down on people who are doing that. So when you subscribe to my page for $7.99, I only go through showing you exactly where to get your answers at. Even if you want to know where it says that at, I will show you where it says that at. It is a scam for somebody to charge you to do what is free. So even like I have a subscription pay. I mean, I have a series on USDA loans. I literally just go through showing you how to do everything, but I'm not going to go over your application with you because that's free. But I show you what can save you time and maybe some frustration. So that's my purpose in doing these lives. That's my purpose in subscribing. That's my purpose in doing the videos. And I do get paid by TikTok. I'm not gonna lie, I get paid by TikTok. So that I do, that's me. That's my content creating that I get paid for. But that does not merit the time that it takes me to go through y'all questions for $7.99. It just don't. But I'm gonna keep doing it. All right. Uh, Top Gun, I answered you, so hopefully you got your answer about having a loan since 1991. Oh, yep. So I think it's taken backwards. Steps, please. I'm not gonna give you the steps on here, Top Gun, because you're a subscriber. I'm gonna give it to you on your message. You don't need them on here because I got to go through some stuff and tell you what to do and all that kind of stuff. Nope, I'm not doing that. If you didn't hear me, Top Gun, I'm getting ready to message you tonight. I'm going to look for your message tonight. Oh, you're welcome, Lemonade. Thank you so much. I see you're not a subscriber yet, but I'm doing what I can to help y'all. I do not mind at all. What is your fee for completing? Oh, you already got that answer, so you already know there's no fee. This is not a solicitation for any extra money. The only thing that I ask y'all to do is subscribe, and I will answer your questions until you are. Oh, and I do a 15-minute Zoom. I do a 15-minute Zoom for y'all, but I always say get everything that you can just by us doing the back and forth dialogue first, because that 15 minutes is going to go like that. And if you waste time asking me a question that takes 15 minutes to answer, you wasted your 15 minutes, because that's all you get for being a subscriber is I do give you that dialogue. We could do a Zoom, or I could do a 15-minute call with you. And I have a Google phone number, so it's not like it's like no big deal. So I'm not giving, but I won't give you that information on here. I do for my subscribers, so I do give you a little bit of personal time if you need it. But you really shouldn't, but I will. Okay, user 593. If you're still on here, you said you started the consolidation process yesterday. Well, you probably had, what happened was you did the consolidation and it took your interest payments, and I don't know how it went up $20,000 with the exception of you owed a whole lot of money. And that was the interest. But on the save plan, you won't pay any more interest. If the payment itself is too high, because you're paying interest right now. User 593. If you don't do the save plan, the interest is piling up. If you do the save plan, the interest stops. Right now, they can't take any more than 10% of your income. In come July, they can't take any more than 5% of your discretionary income, which is your adjusted gross income. So the save plan is actually going to save you in that regard. So the $20,000 that you got added on in interest is literally going to stop under the save plan. They do not charge you any more interest. So if your payment is not enough to cover the interest on your loan, then the federal government picks up the difference. So that's what they mean by the interest stops. So the interest, if your payment is zero, that wasn't enough to pay the interest. So the federal government will pay all of your interest. So the intent is that your interest will not keep compounding from month to month. Okay? So the $20,000 that you got hit with on save, you're going to end up saving it over time. And you still, that's going to go down to 5%, no more than 5% of your discretionary income come July. Okay? So I know, like some people say, you told me to consolidate. I didn't tell you consolidate. I explained to you what consolidation was. And you're not saying that, 5938. I know you're not saying that, but I'm just telling y'all, I'm telling you what consolidation is, and that you do not get the payment count adjustment. That's something else that you need to keep in mind, user 59398. If you're anywhere towards forgiveness, y'all got 6 minutes. So if y'all want some personal comments, I'm getting off of here soon, then you will have to subscribe if you need me to talk to you directly. I'm not even going to belabor that anymore, because I want to get a few more questions before I get off of here. What if you're still in school? I'm currently in grad school. All right, so it's not for if you're currently in school and you're on your payments are likely deferred until after you graduate from school. And it did all your payments like that, Jessica. Now, I do have some grad students that are telling me that they got their undergraduate loans forgiven. But I don't, because you're in school and they said they're not going, if you're in school and you have an in-school deferment, you cannot do this right now. And also, if you try to say, well, I'm just going to drop the deferment, and you still can't do it because you can't do it while you're in the grace period, which is 6 months until 6 months after you get out of school. So you still wouldn't be able to do it. But I have grad school students that are saying they were able to consolidate their undergraduate loans. I mean, they were able to pick the save plan for their undergraduate loans. So all I can do is tell you to check your account and see how it looks on studentaid.gov and try to apply for the save and see what happens. But you cannot include that grad school loan because you're still in school. So you can't. And it's even if you try to say I'm gonna drop out so I can include it. Nope, because you're gonna have a 6 month grace period. So I would say go to studentaid.gov, Jessica, and try it, because I don't know, because I do have people that say they are in school, in grad school, and still got those undergraduate schools. Because some people are in grad school and they work for public service loan forgiveness, so they get the 10-year loan forgiveness, and they got the whole kit and caboodle, and they're still in school. So there's that. So all I can do is say go to studentaid.gov and try to get in the save plan and see what happens. So I need to change my loan service to MOHELA and then consolidate. No, you need to consolidate and then you need to pick MOHELA, because you need to just let them know that, because it's going to ask you, are you a public service are you a public service worker? And that's only if you are. I see you subscribe. I got 3 minutes left for subscribers. So Tiff, no, you consolidate first and then you can pick MOHELA, but you cannot do public service unless you work for a nonprofit or a government entity. I'm getting ready to tell you guys brief answers, not detailed answers. If you want to know more detail, subscribe, because I'm getting off of here at 12 o'clock. So I'm going to give you, like Waldo Gal, let's see what yours says. I applied for consolidation and I got an email. They put me on forbearance automatically. Oh, good for you, Waldo Gal. I don't even need to do anything with you because you're getting ready to be forgiven. That's what that's about. I'm coming back. I've been on here 4 hours. I've been on TikTok 4 hours, not talking to y'all 4 hours. I think I got on at like 9:50 or something like that. Almost 10 o'clock I got on Central Standard Time. But I got on earlier answering people's questions from my subscribers. So yeah, Waldo girl, I shouldn't say you're getting ready to be forgiven. They're looking at your loan to give you your account adjustment when you get the forbearance automatically. That's where you're at. Yep. Yep. So Waldo girl, that's where you're at. I know you subscribe, Maverick. I mean Top Gun. I keep calling you Maverick. Let's see. Did you offer? I'll do a 15-minute one-on-one call or Zoom. Oh, thank you, Top Gun. You're so sweet. New to the room. Hello, Lady Vedette. Let me see. Jules, I want to pay for my loans, but I don't want to pay on the interest that is added. Who do I talk to? You want to do an interest-only loan? Jules, you don't have to do neither one depending on what your circumstances are. Jules, you may qualify for the save plan. I don't know where your income is at, but you may qualify for the save plan where you won't be paying interest, or you'll be paying, but they pay the difference of your interest. Thank you so much for subscribing, 6006. Thank you so much for subscribing. Oh, I got 58 seconds left. Oh, Jazz Wells. Oh my goodness. Here we go. Oh, y'all got it. Right before it ran out. Aren't y'all the best? Look at you. Thank y'all so much. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's see. All right, so let's see. Thank y'all so much. That's a heartbeat, y'all. What is that? That's a heartbeat. Thank y'all so much. I got me to the subscriber point. All right, so let's see. Lisa, you already probably heard that you cannot get it. Parent loan here payments just started in January. Do not work in public service field. Cannot apply. No. There's probably no benefit in you applying since your payment just started for parent loan. The only way it will work for you, Lucy, if you're still on here, is if you have an open student loan of your own where you can get that payment count adjustment. Do you call in to have it consolidated? Lori, studentaid.gov, and you could do it over the phone if you want to with your loan service provider, but I recommend doing it through studentaid.gov so you can catch all your loans. Hey, Wendy Diane. Hi, Pastor Cheryl. Do you still get the payment count if you do not consolidate your plus loan? No, you have to consolidate that plus loan, but you don't have to include that plus loan with your other loans, but you do have to consolidate it if you want that payment count adjustment, Wendy. Wendy, you are a subscriber. If you're still on here and you need some more stuff, send me a message. Hello, because you're a subscriber. Hello, can you consolidate your loans if they're in deferment? Yeah, and they're probably going to come out of deferment then, but not if they're in an in-school deferment. Yeah, you know what? Parent Plus loans, Parent Plus loans are not supposed to be able to be consolidated if your student is still in school. But they're saying deferment. They're not saying in-school deferment. So they're still consolidating those loans even if your student is still in school. Can mine be forgiven if I haven't paid anything? Yep, B. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to answer your questions with a yes or no. And if you need more detail, you can subscribe, watch more videos, or come to another live. Or, again, I have a podcast, which if you go to my bio, you can just click the link and you can listen to the podcast. So I'm going to do a quick yes or no answer unless you subscribe. If you subscribe, you come to me direct and I'll give you I'll go to details and show you where it's at on studentaid.gov. I have a $27,000 loan from 2016 for nursing school and haven't made payments. Should I consolidate? It's not a situation of consolidating if that's probably already a direct loan, Jazz Wells. So that would not be your path to forgiveness. So, but there's probably another one for you. Listen to my lives. Come to a live. Watch the 49 videos that I have out there that are for free. I also did a podcast, 2 podcasts of student loan forgiveness that are free. Go to my bio to get those, or subscribe and I'll tell you what you need to do. Lori, Michael, will they forgive if you never made a payment on loans taken out over 15 years ago? Loria, now forgiveness still is going to be subject to the 20 to 25 year forgiveness unless you're a public service worker, but you still need to get that loan straightened out, and there is a way that you can do that. Subscribe for the $7.99, watch more videos, or come to some more lives, or watch my podcast, which you can get off my page. Do I submit an application through Nelnet? You can submit your application through Nelnet. I recommend people do it through studentaid.gov. Nurses that work for a non-profit hospital. Yes, lovely B. Sure do. Luxie D. Michaels. Yes, they do qualify if you work for a non-profit hospital. Yes, ma'am. And if you need more information on how to do that, let me know. Public service prior to 2007 don't count. No, not if you are not still working. You have to currently work at a non-profit or government entity. You have to be currently working there. But 2007, and this is 2023, you somewhere near forgiveness. So you do have something that you need to do that, and I know that's an old loan. So there's a path for you towards forgiveness sooner rather than later. But I'm telling y'all now, I'm not answering no questions. Y'all have to subscribe. That's why I want forgiveness because you're a public. I'm not quite sure what you're saying, Simone. Maybe because you're saying because you're public. Just consolidated all of my loans. They're reviewing it now. Hopefully some of it gets canceled. Amen. Hopefully all of it gets canceled because there's no reason for all of your loans not to be canceled. If y'all walk around here and got partial forgiveness, and it happened recently, then there may be something that you need to do before April 30th, because you can get that fixed before April 30th. As far as I know, you can get it fixed, and they just told me how to do that. Thank you for the gifts. 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 If you have more questions and then more specific to what I'm answering right now, you're gonna need to subscribe. Quick question: What do your subscribers get again? Tiff. When you subscribe to my page, I answer your questions directly. That's it. And then I give a 15-minute either Zoom or personal phone call. It's only 15 minutes. I ask you to use it wisely, because it's only $7.99 for a subscription, so it's not worth my time. So that's what you get. And then I do subscriber only lives. I haven't done them in a while, but I will be doing them soon, because I have new subscribers and y'all haven't experienced that yet. Subscriber only lives means you get to ask all the questions and you control the lives, and then they just kind of give new people an opportunity to see part of what I'm talking about. But then all the questions get directed to you, and you don't have that competition of a whole bunch of people on. Usually, I don't know why it's not happening now, but normally I have 400 to 500 people on, so it'd be very hard to get to your questions with that many people. And then that's when I do subscriber only videos. But until they get up to that, I just do a few minutes. I do a few hours on a live, and then I go to my subscribers and answer all their questions. If you don't subscribe, that don't mean I won't answer you. It just means I won't answer you right away. I won't be answering you anytime soon. I gotta do it with subscribers first. And that is because you invested in me. I'm going to invest. Make sure that I try to help you. Should you consolidate? I don't know, YT. If you only need to consolidate if you have direct loans that are not. You only need to consolidate if you have loans that are not direct loans and you want them included in the payment count adjustment. And I'm not explaining what payment count adjustment means again. I'm a hairstylist. Any forgiveness for that? Beatrice. So that's not considered that is not considered a public servant under the definition of public servant, unless you work for a nonprofit or you work for a government entity. Some people do. Some people are hairstylists at nursing homes. So some people do that. But if that's not your situation, there's not forgiveness for that, but there is forgiveness in general. You do not have to be a public service worker to get forgiveness. You do not have to be a public service worker to get student loan forgiveness. I hope y'all understand that. You do not have to be a public service worker to get student loan forgiveness. It's going to be based more on time than what you do. And that time is reduced by the number of years from your oldest loan. And if you are a public service worker, you can get it forgiven in 10 years. If you have less than $12,000 worth of loans and you qualify for the SAVE plan, then you can also be forgiven in less than 10 years, even if your 10 years are already up, because you get the payment count adjustment. So you're going to get the payment count adjustment towards forgiveness. And keep in mind, with the SAVE plan, you do have this opportunity. If you're in the SAVE plan and you owe, and your loan was originally $15,000. Say you consolidated and you have $15,000. That would be your new direct loan consolidation. And you pick the SAVE plan. Then you have only 12 years that you have to be forgiven by. Oh, I shouldn't be explaining nothing else to y'all. So it's going to go to your oldest loan, give you the payment count adjustment towards forgiveness, and you still may be forgiven, even though it's been not 10 years in the SAVE plan, but 12 years in the SAVE plan, because the SAVE plan will give you less years to pay off. And if you do all this before April 30th, 2024, you get the payment count adjustment. So there is a path. There's a lot of paths to forgiveness. It just depends on your circumstances, and everybody is not cut from the same cloth. You did not start school in the same circumstances. Everybody in your life did not end up like everybody's. So everybody has a different path, and some people have none. You have to wait your whole 25 years, and there's nothing that can be done. That's just, they don't have a path for you. But that's a small number of people with student loans. It's almost something for just about everybody to be forgiven sooner rather than later. Some people will be forgiven immediately, and some people will be forgiven over time. How do I know if I'm subscribing? You pay $7.99. Rachel, I think you're not a subscriber right now, Rachel, but I think your subscription just expired. Because I think you and I are already working together. So I'm not going to drop you because your subscription's expired. But you would have to, if you wanted to recontribute and subscribe again, you just weren't on, Rachel, you weren't on a renewal subscription. You were just on a 1 month subscription. So there's a monthly and there's a 1 month. So Rachel, if you still had some more you needed, then you could subscribe again if you want to. But otherwise, I got you. What if you taught in U.S. for 5 years but now teach abroad? Nope. No, not for public service loan forgiveness, but you're still subject to forgiveness for your loans depending on how old they are. But you don't, if you're teaching abroad and if that school is affiliated, my ear is hurting. If that school is affiliated with a nonprofit somehow, there's a way to use public service loan forgiveness for that. But if not, if it's not affiliated with a government, with a United States company, then there's still a path to forgiveness, but it's not going to be for public service. Let me see. Let me see. If I do that, because see, if I can do that. I could do that. I'm going to do that. I'll put this in here. But I don't need to send a link to subscribe because it's right at the bottom. It's that star that's at the bottom, y'all. It's the star that's at the bottom. That star at the bottom, you click that to subscribe. It's the star at the bottom. I think, which one of these? I don't know which one of these is the subscription one. Click the link. Let me see if it's on here. I think this is it. I think that's it. I think I gave y'all the right one. I may not have. I just put it in there. Let me see something. Can I pin that? No, I can't pin it. I should have pinned that. Sorry. Oh, yes, I can. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. All right. I think it pinned it, y'all, for the subscription. But you should not need to, me to give you the link, because it's a star at the bottom of the screen that says, it's a star that says subscribe, and you click that. And at the top, it shows the star. I don't know if y'all see the one at the top that shows 101 subscribers out of the 220 goal, which I met that because it was some other subscribers that were there when I was $2. I was $2.99. I went up to $7.99 because I didn't realize I was splitting that much with TikTok. I wasn't getting nothing for $2.99. I got less than half of that. So, and I get less than half of $7.99, so it's not very much. But anyway, so that's what happened with that. All right. Dude, yeah, Luxor fam, you, and I'm gonna reach out to you, all the people who subscribe. As long as you're not private, then I'll reach out to you. If you're private, you need to reach out to me, and I'll follow you, or I'll still follow you, but you have to accept my follow. But yeah, I just followed you, Lux fans, so that I can make sure that you can send me a message, because sometimes they won't let me see your message right away. All right, y'all. It is 11:51. I'm going to get off of here. I see you subscribe, Jaswell. Let me go ahead and follow you so it's easy for you to message me. And then I will message you too, because I'm going to go through all of y'all tonight and send you a quick message, because some of y'all will subscribe and won't say nothing. It's not letting me do this right, Jaswell. I'm trying to, let me see if it'll do it this way. Nope. I'm trying to follow you. Nope. It will not pick the thing. My fat hands. Let me see if I can do it this way. Nope. I can't seem to get your thing to do it right. Send me a message, Jasmine, if you don't mind, but I'm going to send you one. tonight, as soon as I get off of here. So I'm not going to go to bed till 1 o'clock my time. Oh, I got it. I'm following you back so you can easily message me. So you guys, I'm going to go through the subscribers tonight, and I'm going to send you a message to make sure. Maybe you answered this already, but are they repaying PPL that already paid their student loans? No, Miss Belzy. They are not going back paying people who already paid. I know that's kind of, I know that's rotten to the core, it feels like. But remember, the people that they are paying back are people who paid too long. People that are being forgiven right now are people that should have been getting credit for the payments that they made. Even if they didn't make payments, should have been getting credit for that over the years. And the student loan providers servicers were not giving them credit. So this is not just arbitrarily giving people loan forgiveness. This is somehow you earned this time. Okay, so that's what that's all about. This is not, do I work one-on-one? No, Miss Belzy. I do not work one-on-one. I respond to my subscribers and make sure that you know exactly where to go and look for the answer to your questions. Make sure you kind of go step by step. Like, Cheryl, I did my consolidation, now what? Or Cheryl, they talked to me and they told me I couldn't do such. And I'm like, oh, well, Pastor Cheryl. Most people call me Pastor Cheryl. And I go, okay, wait a minute. So, nope, that's not what it says. This is what it says right here. Here's this section right here. And the reason they're telling you that is because X, Y, Z. And then you need to do X, Y, Z. So I show you where it's at in studentaid.gov. If you go to my page, if you like leery, kind of like, oh, she's talking all good and everything, but I'm uncomfortable, you will see there's going to be a lot of people in comments that say that they got help, that they got forgiven. Thank you, Pastor Cheryl. Or, like I said, don't subscribe. Just go to my page and get the 50-something videos that I've already done, or listen to the podcast that I've already made. Go to my bio, listen to the podcast, come to a live. And if you still feel like you need me, then you'll get that. Otherwise, I do a 15-minute phone call or a 15-minute Zoom, but I recommend you not do that right away, because if you sit there and ask me one question and you spend 15 minutes on that one question that was nothing, then you wasted your time. I could have just sent you a message back and forth. So that what we've been doing is wrapping up everything with a 15-minute call if you still feel like you need it. I've talked to one person that said they want that 15-minute call. Everybody else kind of gets their answers and they're good to go. And they're like, oh, let me know. This is where I'm at. I'm excited. I got this, Or I didn't get what I thought I was going to get because my payments are too doggone high and I can't afford it. What do I do now? And we kind of try to go through trying to find a way to get your payments down. So that happens too, where it's just like, okay, I'm going to get forgiven, but I'm going to be broke on the way there. So we kind of try to find a way to work that out too within the guidelines. And then I always send you to studentaid.gov to confirm everything. So, let's see. So yeah, so it's direct message, but otherwise, I will make sure that I reach out. All right, y'all. So it's 11:55. I love y'all. Thank y'all so much. Thank you for your support. Thank you for sharing. And make sure that you share people with my page who you think just needs to know this information. When you go to my page, there is I think it's the first one. It says student loan forgiveness. It's like a banner of different things. Now, if you do the series, that's USDA. That's $7.99. That's a charge for that. But everything else on that little line is just a collection of all of my videos. So you don't have to go through looking at a million, because I got like over 500 videos on my page. So you don't have to go through looking at all those videos to figure out which one is what what you might need. And all of them have like this big purple banner up there that says what I'm talking about. So you kind of can figure out which ones pertain to you. That's free. You just click on the studentaid.gov. I forgot what it's called. It's not called a series. It's called something else. And then all of my videos are under there. And if you are a subscriber, or if you reach out to me and you're not a subscriber and you just want to get those videos, I'll just send you the link to that if you just absolutely want it. All right, y'all. I'm praying for your success and prosperity. I love y'all. Be blessed and covered. And I look forward to seeing you on the other side of TikTok. All right. Love y'all. Bye-bye.